Hey everyone, welcome back to TBM Sports. Let's get it. Let's talk the Thursday wildcard elimination games. We'll have 3 games as the Dodgers took care of the Cincinnati Reds. We saw a nice little outbreak offensively from the Dodgers, so it's nice to see them flipping the switch. We've been riding some pitcher props, and we're going to continue doing so today. I'll share with you guys my 3 best bets. We'll talk about each game from the side, from the totals, and I'll give you kind of my indication on where I'm going to be at as we get this video going. So if you are new to the channel, awesome. I love some new faces here, and make sure you all hit that like button, subscribe down below. Also be sure to follow me on X, Instagram, all that good stuff. You can find all that in the description. And we're gonna get down into the action, and to do so, we will use Outlier, okay? This is kind of what I use to break down pretty much a lot of my information, props, trends, best numbers available. It is, in my opinion, one of the best tools out there if you are a sports bettor consistently, especially with multiple sports concurrently running, which we will have today. We got some Thursday night football, Rams, 49ers, as well as a college game. So do not overpay for juice. That's why I use Outlier, and it simply does pay for itself. 7-day free trial in the description. First game we're going to look into, and this is going to be a fun one, okay? We will be back in Progressive Field for Game 3 between the Tigers and the Guardians. And we saw a good one today, and I think a lot of Tigers maybe had their win let out of their sails a little bit because of how the game ended. 6-1, the Guardians, they were roaring. 2 improbable home runs from players that, you know, they've had some recency success hitting home runs in good spots, and just not the characters of this script, if you will, that I think I would have pegged to hit a home run going against the Tigers here in Game 2. But we did see it, okay? So tip of the cap, they advance. It's a scrappy young bunch, right? I think a lot of you guys probably don't know 50% of the players on the Guardians roster, and that's quite all right because it's all about the numbers. And right now, the Guardians come into this game with arguably the best starting pitching rotation in baseball over the last 60 days. We'll talk about this. Total set at 7. The spread, this is basically a coin flip, all right? I'm not going to look into run lines. Very high likelihood this will be a 2-0, 1-0, 3-1, 3-2 kind of game. So I do lend towards the under. You can see the overwhelming support for the over from a handle perspective, over 7 at -105. I'm not going to touch the side in total in this game, although I do lean towards Cleveland -113 at home. I'm sure there's some crazy trends within these wild card games since they've been formulated to who actually takes home the grudge match, the Game 3. There's probably a very big determinant from a percentage standpoint, but this is just solely based upon fading Flaherty, okay? I think both of these pitchers will be on short leashes. Don't see more than 5 innings for either of these guys. Potentially for Slade Cecconi, and shout out Slade Cecconi. I think that might be the only Slade in MLB history with that first name as a pitcher. But that's kind of where I'm at. I think he's just a better pitcher in this matchup. I do like this from a prop perspective, though, and that's where we're going to get into our first best bet. We're going to take Jose Ramirez to have a walk at +121, okay? He's had 4 walks collectively between the first 2 games between Detroit. High leverage situation, win or go home. If a base is open, they're not going to pitch to Jose, okay? So I do think that the over half walk at a +121 price, I think it's very much in play, and at a plus money value, I definitely like this quite a bit. He's probably only going to get 4 at-bats, and that's just basically how I see it shaking out, but they will not pitch to him. I guarantee you that if it's a close game. So I'm going to take Jose Ramirez going over a half walk at +121. Next game, let's talk about the Cubs hosting the Padres in another Game 3. Yu Darvish versus Jameson Taillon, okay? Should be a good one. Unfortunately, I think that the numbers are completely wrong in this game for the odds makers, and this is going to be one of those bets where I'm not going to have a side or total bet. I think this is a complete coin flip. The Padres, they do not score in consecutive innings. I think that they have a propensity to put up one crooked number throughout nine frames, and that's kind of what they ride home on, okay? But they have been successful in winning 8 of their last 10. The same thing can be said for the Cubs, as they've won 5 of their last 7. And coming in this game, total set at 7.5. This is another one where I think we could see some runs. I do think that these pitchers will be on a very short leash. And as far as Yu Darvish goes, I don't trust them. So a couple props I'm looking at. In full disclosure, guys, I would have a lean towards the Cubs. I just think it's a better pitcher. Home team, crowd, roll with the home teams and the crowds. And I think with the Guardians and the Cubs, I think it both bodes in their favor for these first two games. But let's look at Yu Darvish. This is a lean as well. 3.5 hits. I just don't know how long he's going to go at plus 105. I would lean on this. Not going to bet it, but I think that it's something that is firmly in play as long as he goes 3-4 innings and doesn't get yanked in the first or second, where he probably would have some walks in that situation and maybe just 2 hits, and they would just really just yank him. I think this is kind of where you would see Yu Darvish going over 3.5 if we had to say how his outing will go here on Thursday. But for me, the best prop in the one bet I will be making this game, entirely too low. Jameson Taillon over 9.5 outs, plus 108. Give me plus money. If I lose this bet, I'll tip my cap. We'll live the bet another day. And this is just one that I'm not going to not make, okay? He has to go 3 1/3. If he does that at home, we cash a ticket at plus 108. If he doesn't do that, then we're in trouble. And I think the Cubs are in even bigger trouble because there's really no reason why they won't leave one of their best pitchers at home in that ballpark for at least 4 innings. So that's just kind of how I see it shaping out. So I will be playing Jameson Taillon over 9.5 outs at plus 108. Okay. In the last game, this will be where we talk about a very interesting pitching matchup and probably the game I think that everybody is looking forward to. I think I'd probably have this game number 1. And despite being a Guardians fan, Indians fan, I would probably have that game number 2 on the docket. But the Red Sox plus 136. Okay. Hard to pass up that value. Both of these teams have been playing exceedingly well. Yankees, 9 of the last 10 games, they have won. And they are rolling out Schlittler to go against a very, very good arm in Connolly early. Okay. And he's one of my favorite young guns, making his postseason debut. And this lefty, he can throw the baseball. Okay. So we're going to look to attack another pitching prop. And I think this is one that we could get some exceedingly good value on if we do get a very good outing from him. Okay. So let's talk about that. I also want to share with you guys, I do favor the Red Sox plus 136. I'm not going to bet it officially because, quite frankly, you don't know what you're going to get from this rookie. So I'm going to bet it, though, in terms of just what I expect. And I want to share with you guys kind of how that breaks down. So Connolly early, if you've watched him, if you've seen him pitch, I had the privilege of seeing him pitch against the Athletics where he had 11 strikeouts in his debut outing. Ended up going only 5 innings in that game as well. Through no hits through 5. They're leaving his pitch count, being a strikeout pitcher, his pitches do get up there in volume. But I do think he will get probably upwards of 75 pitches in this start, okay? The reason being the Red Sox, they exhausted a lot of bullpen arms. We're seeing that quite a bit. I quite frankly don't know how many arms will be left for the Padres as well. They threw Mason Miller for an extended period. And that pretty much is where we're at here in all of these game 3s. Bullpens are pretty much depleted. I think the Red Sox will have Chapman coming back. So that's something to look forward to, I guess, for them. And it's going to be a steady dose of lefties. And with this Red Sox-Yankees matchup, one thing to note is the Yankees hit the ball well against anybody. If there is one flaw, they kind of don't hit the ball as good at home as they do on the road, which for some odd reason, that's very shocking considering that short porch, allowing for a lot of home run potential and ground rule doubles, all that good stuff. But their numbers are a little bit different as they are the number 1 team in baseball on the road versus at home. I think they're like 5 or 6, okay? So keep that in mind. The Red Sox, they're top 10 offense in pretty much everything throughout the course of the season. So it's not a stock up, stock down kind of thing where I'm valuing one team over the other. It just, it's hard to fade the Yankees lineup, but it's also on the same breath, it's kind of hard to fade the Red Sox as well. So at plus 136, that's kind of why I would lean towards Boston. I'm not going to officially play it though, because like I said, young pitcher, playoff debut, stuff happens. Okay. But just as we're seeing with the other numbers, because of these short leashes, I think over the strikeouts is how I'm going to approach this. And this will be one of my best bets. Okay. And as we look at it, like I said, he had 11, 7, 4, and 7 respectively. Okay. And the 4K game was in 4 innings where he threw 67 pitches, where I think that's kind of the floor. But one thing about the Yankees is they strike out the most in baseball. Okay. They have the most strikeouts in baseball. I love me some Connolly early. We're going to be taking this prop over 3.5 at plus 109. And I don't actually mind laddering this one all the way up to 6.5. He's done it twice this season. If he's throwing a gem, they're not going to pull him. Okay. And if they have the lead, you know, he will have a short leash, but they're not going to pull him. So there is a very small, but there is a small chance that he does eclipse 6.5 strikeouts, 5.5. And you can see how this ladder takes shape as you only need 7 Ks from a strikeout pitcher at plus 1340. That's not too bad of a sprinkle, okay? So that's where I'm at. Those are my best bets. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's cash some tickets here on this Thursday. Make sure you check out my Thursday night football game, the Thursday night football game breakdown of the best bets I'll have in that contest. But just to do a quick recap, what we're going to be rolling with here. 3 props. Jose Ramirez walk, plus 121. Jamison Talion over 9.5 outs, plus 108. And we're going to take Connolly early over 3.5 Ks at a plus money price at plus 109. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Let's get it. Let's cash some tickets. Thank you all for being part of the channel. Does mean a lot. If you have not, hit that like button and subscribe down below. Now is your last chance, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.